Hello everyone. I know that I have not posted a video in a few weeks. It's probably been about a month since my latest update. And I wanted to wait a little because I've been trying several things and I just figured it was about time to talk about where I am standing with my tinnitus. And I'd like to say that this is going to be pretty encouraging, and at the same time it could be controversial. What I'm about to say could defy what science and doctors have said all along and all this time about an incurable disease. And I'd like to start by saying that my tinnitus is declining. It has been slowly declining, and I'm pretty sure it's going to completely decline very soon. How did this happen? That's the question everyone's going to be asking right now. Well, it hasn't been an easy process, as you know, and for those of you who have seen my previous videos, I've had this condition for over 2 months now. It started after I got COVID, like 2 weeks after I got full recovery from COVID. So just kind of a brief summary for those of you who have not seen my other 2 videos. And as I mentioned before, it had been kind of a long journey, right? I tried a lot of things and none of them had been quite successful. I mean, none of them had been giving me the results that I was looking for. So some of the things that I've talked about during my latest videos was the fact that I was trying something that was called neuroplasticity, which is basically the ability of rewiring your brain to make it think in more positive ways and focus on those things instead of focusing on that ringing on your ears. So I have still focused on that a lot. I have continued to make a lot of meditations, a lot of mindfulness, a lot of EFT tapping. I've also talked about that in my previous videos for those of you who might be wondering what that is about. And there's also a lot of self-compassion, which is something that I've talked about before in my previous videos as well. Now, although all those things have helped out, and it has helped out because it has calmed my anxiety and it really keeps me focused on what I have to and the important things. It lets me live a normal life, if you will, or if you want to call it that way. But recently, and this is where I want to get to the important point and the important thing. I visited a doctor. It was an otorhinolaryngologist. I have visited him before. This is the doctor that had previously told me that my problem came from a condition that I was pretty much, I just forgot what's the term in English, but it's basically you put a lot of pressure on your teeth when you're sleeping. Your jaw is like really stressed out, and that causes ringing on your ears. So I had to use a special device. I actually have that with me right now. I can just show you. Some of you might think this kind of disgusting, but I had to use this during the night, okay? And that was supposed to cure my symptoms, but it didn't. So when he initially told me about this, I used that for about 2 weeks. No, actually it was about a month. And then I got back to him, and that was 2 weeks ago. And I got back to him because I had my follow-up appointment. And I told him that unfortunately, that had not helped out with my symptoms and that they were still there. So eventually he told me, you know what, seems like this might be actual damage in your ears. I mean, it could be on your cochlea, which is part of your ear. It could be on your brain. And he still argued that it was, a COVID sequel. And so I said, well, so what can we do about that? And he said, well, I'm going to be very honest with you. This is something that it's like a scar. I mean, when you get a scar, you can't get rid of that scar, but you can do a lot of things to diminish or mitigate, the symptoms in this case. And so he talked to me about medication. He talked to me about a treatment that he had provided for several patients that had tinnitus. And when he initially talked about it, he said that, the effectiveness rate for this treatment was about 80%. He also mentioned it was a long treatment, that it was not very short term. It could vary depending on the person. I mean, depending on how you react to the medication, but it could be about 2 to 4 months of the entire treatment. So anyways, I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what the medications are because I don't feel entitled to do so. I don't think it's my place. I'm not a doctor. But what I can tell you is that it's controlled medication, and it's medication that has to do a lot with managing anxiety symptoms, with managing depression, and all those emotions that make your tinnitus go bad. As many of you might know, and if you've been living with this condition for a while, you already have learned that this is a condition that has a very big emotional part to it. And the more stressed, the more anxious you are, the worse it gets. So it's like your brain is all constantly, firing those neurons to make this loud, as long as you stay on that cycle of being stressed out and anxious and all this type of things. Now, I've been taking these pills for, this is my third week, actually. This is my third week. And I was very reluctant when he told me about this treatment, since I've tried pretty much everything and nothing had worked out. But I gotta say, guys, from the very first week that I started with this treatment, I started feeling changes in my brain, in my emotions, in my symptoms immediately. I will not say that my symptoms have faded away. I will not say that they have magically disappeared, but they have started declining. And most importantly, my emotional reaction to my symptoms has changed significantly, from a very negative reaction to a very neutral reaction. Almost, I could say, if it was like a positive reaction. Like if it no longer affects me that it's there. And what that has caused at an emotional level is that I feel obviously much more relaxed. I feel much more quiet. I'm no longer focused on that. And I'm able to manage to do everything that I have to do during my day, which is work, family, gym, friends, every little thing that I have to do in my day to day. And, it's my third week, and I gotta say, guys, my tinnitus was initially on a 7. If I had to use a scale from 1 to 10, I would have to say it was initially a 7, around a 6 or a 7. And it was 24/7 there, okay? So it was nonstop. It was nonstop. I could hear day and night, any time of the day, basically. Now, I'm recording this video. It's March 9, 2021. And again, this is my third week of treatment. I have to say, my tinnitus is probably now a 4 or a 5, and that's only during the night, which means I can no longer hear it during the day. And that is amazing. That is amazing, because 2 weeks back, 3 weeks back, a month back, I could hear it all day long. And it was so annoying that it would not let me focus on anything else. Right now, it has declined so much that it's no longer an issue to me. One of the other things that I'd like to mention is I had problems for sleeping that were very bad. I mean, very, very bad problems for sleeping. I probably slept about 2 to 3 hours daily. These days, and since I have started with this treatment, I have been sleeping wonderfully. And I now sleep at least 6 hours. I know it's not the full 8 hours. I've always had some insomnia anyway, so that's not really weird to me. It's not strange to me, but I do sleep a lot more. I do feel like I have a lot more energy during the day. Very, very slight side effects from the medication. I feel sleepy sometimes during the day, but that lasts for about 2 hours max. You know, it's not really that bad. And nothing else. I can tell you that my anxiety attacks, my panic attacks are gone. I no longer feel like that. I feel happier for sure. And then again, I am confident that, you know, as long as I continue with this treatment, eventually my tinnitus will decline, fully decline. So, you know, it's a different approach to treating tinnitus. Sounds like it's more of a psychological approach, if you will, because then again, this is a control medication that you can get from a psychologist. But this was given to me by my otorhinolaryngologist. Then again, guys, I mean, I know there's plenty of approaches out there for how to treat this condition. I know there's plenty of opinions. I know some of you guys might be against medication, might be against control meds and all those type of things. For me, honestly, it has helped out tremendously. And so I just wanted to share this with you guys because I know that many of you out there still have a lot of questions, still live in a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress because of this condition. And I do want to let you know that there's a way out. There are plenty of options. I think it's not just the medication, but a combination of everything. Again, I've not stopped doing my meditations. I've not stopped doing my EFT tapping. I've not stopped with my self-compassion. And all along with that, I also work out a lot. And that keeps my anxiety levels very low. So anyways, just wanted to post this video. Please don't ask me about the medication. Again, it's not my place to give you the name of the medication. I'm not a doctor. This might be working for me, but maybe for some of you might not be the right approach. And so I don't feel entitled to tell you exactly what that is. If you have, you know, any more questions about that, you might want to go with a specialist, with an otorhinolaryngologist, and ask about that approach and see if that's something that's feasible for you. But, you know, then again, it is not my place to tell you exactly what that is, and I just want to really share an update on where it was. So thank you again for listening, and remember to post any comments. Try to be positive again. I don't want any negativity about this. I know there's a lot of things and bad things out there, and I think we should be very positive and supportive about this condition. So anyways, I'll keep on posting videos. I do want to wait a little bit more. I'll say about a month and a half or probably 2 months to see how I feel, and then I'll get back to you guys and give you another update. But just wanted to briefly tell you where I was. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in, and post your comments. Thank you. Bye.